Hey everyone, how's it going? I put off watching this week's episode because I was in finals hell, but I am finally free from that today and really excited to get into this now that my winter break has started. It's honestly a wonderful way to start the winter break because if this episode is what I think it is, it will have some Ritsu focus, and seeing as Ritsu is my favorite character, I've been looking forward to that a lot. I think that will be this episode. I'm assuming it is, considering this literally starts in the student council room. But yeah, I even worked on some fan art in advance out of my sheer excitement for this episode and some parallels in imagery that I enjoyed. And there's a lot I could ramble on about in regards to that, but I will save that for the actual episode instead of going on about that right now. And yeah, let's jump in.
買い替えるべき数と予算を。どうした影山。
すいません。ちょっと相
I love how he just instantly knows.
まさか振られたショックで。
Oh my god, he's been worried about that.
私好きな人いるから。
Oh my god, that's his first thought.
兄さんのだ。まさか事故にあったのか。
That title though. So much for that. Oh yeah, Toichiro was... I almost forgot about him. Round 2.
借りを返しに来た。悪い
The eyebrows, I can't. The claw music. Oh come on, Toichiro is stronger than that. The noodle splattered over his head looks like blonde hair.
機嫌かと思ったら機嫌がいいようにも見える。いや、開放的と言うべきか。我慢することをやめたようだな。
まさかここまで差があるとは。危ねえ。簡単にやられそうになってんじゃねえよ。
ショー、ここで何をしている。
ダメ親の社会奉仕に協力してやんねえと。マジかよ。リツの兄貴とぶつかるなんて気が引けるな。
だが優しさを見せてどうにかなる状況ではない。
優しい親父なんて見たことねえけど。
直撃親父。おい大丈夫かよ。
欠けた力を補うために
Oh yeah, he
彼
can...
のエネルギーを拝借する必要があっただけだ。
了解。
あの事故以来僕らはお互いに本気でぶつかったことがなかった。小さい頃はもっと気持ちを表に出してたのに、自分から超能力を見せることもなくなってしまった。あの兄さんは蓋を開けて出てきた。抑圧されたもう一人の兄さん、根っこの部分でつながっていて切り離すことはできない。これからも付き合って生きていかなきゃならないんだよ。テルさん。
That's not good.
いやいやいや、俺たちの全力が吸い込まれた。
I'm liking all this music that was used in more claw-centered arcs.
これはもうどうしようもねえ。逃げようぜ。
無理だ。今さらこの怪我では逃げられん。
様子がおかしい。何が起きたんだ。これはもがいている。もしかして抵抗してんのか。内側でリツの兄貴もまだ戦ってるんだ。暴走する自分の力と。
強いなお前は。私が器となりエネルギーを全て吸収する。あの時の彼と同じことをやればいい。
あれを。無茶だろ。ぶっ壊れちまうぜ。
それでいい。私が人柱になれば。
勝手なこと言ってんじゃん。
覚悟はできている。
親父。
That face.
Sho、肩を貸してくれないか。逃げよう。
That smile was unexpected. I don't remember that he smiled.
普通に生きるのが一番大事なんだろ。
難題だな。だが彼はそうしてきた。
Ooh, the music building up. It changed a little.
これからどうなるんだ。
やっ
Oh my
ぱり
god.
まだ現場にいたか。助けに来たよ。一緒に体育館に避難しよう。
Oh.
影山だよな。返事しろこれら。
Oh, Onigawara too.
ただのトラップじゃないな。やはりこのまま放っておくわけにはいかんな。行くかーい。おい。
Oh my god, Mob versus Body Improvement Club, let's go.
影山君はこんなに強かったのか。いつもの影山君も実はみんな尊敬してるんだよ。だから元に戻ってくれないかな。やめろ。
危ないよ。久しぶりだね兄さん。ずっと怖かった。こうなるのが兄さんじゃない別の何か。いつそれが出てくるかずっと怯えてた。嫌いだ。だけどもう怖くない。やっと分かったんだ。別の怖い何かではなく、それも兄さんの一部なんだってことを。だったら怖くない。その姿を見て震えることもない。だって僕は弟だから。
ダメだリツ、それは間違ってるよ。これは僕じゃない。リツ、それに近づくな。
兄さん、勝手に一人で苦しまないでよ。どうかしたの？何か悩みがあったら聞くよ。
大丈夫、ありがとう。
本当は兄さんに相談に乗ってほしかった。だけど今思えば兄さんも僕に話せないことを抱えてたんだよね。そうやって自分の力に蓋をして。
傷つけたくない。このままじゃまた。
でも兄さんにはこれ以上変わってほしくないんだ。自分だけで背負わないで。僕がいるよ。
これ以上抑えられない。
動けない。兄さんのために僕にできることは何もないのか？
もう やめてよ。僕の力なんだろう。いい加減にしろ。言うことを聞け。止まらない。律が危ない。
このままじゃ高根さんにまで危害が及んだら兄さんはきっと耐えられない。きっとそうだ。ショックで何か変化が起きるに違いない。ごめん兄さん。違う。トラウマで縛ることじゃない。兄さんのために僕ができること、それはこれからもずっと何でも相談できる弟であること、本気でぶつかり合える弟になることだ。今やっと分かった。僕が力を求めていたのはこの時のためだったんだ。もう大丈夫だよ兄さん。ダメだ、やめろ
不気味なうねりを見せながらもゆっくりと移動を続けています。なぜこうも局地的に、それも立て続けにこういった現象が起こっているのでしょうか。一部有識者には極秘裏に行われている科学実験の影響という説や超能力者の仕業を論じる人も現れています。政府の緊急記者会見によりますと、
I love how Tsubomi literally has just been staying there the whole time.
この先通行止めです。立ち入ることはできません。あ、ちょっと待ちなさい。
僕の力じゃこれが限界か。帰ってきてね兄さん。
Oh, here it is, here it is.
見つけた。君は何？どうしてこんなことするの？僕は僕だ。影山茂雄だよ。君こそ誰？僕は影山茂雄。ああ、モブか。偽物の僕。偽物はそっちだ。もう僕に力は必要ないんだよ。僕の中からいなくなってくれ。だったら君が消えてくれ。僕は自由に生きる。お前を止める。誰も僕を止められない。
心なしか体が重たくねえか。あそこまで送り届けてくれるだけでいい。頼む。わかりました。やれるだけやってみましょう。よし、行こ
う。なぜこんなことを。車にはねられたのを覚えているか？体だけじゃ動けなくなったんだ。だから意志で動くしかない。何を言ってるんだ。こんなの僕の意志じゃないよ。つぼみちゃんに会いに行くって強い気持ちがあるだろう。僕にとってそれは何より大事なものだ。そんなもの、こんなに人に迷惑かけてまですることじゃない。お前の考えは普通じゃないよ。普通ってなんだ。またそうやって僕そのものを否定するのか。このままあんたの方が壊れて消えれば、もう僕は我慢しなくていい。 僕の好きにやらせてもらうよ。次に目覚めた時は僕は僕になってる。さよなら、モブ。
Alright, that was that. I enjoyed that episode very much. Admittedly, I remember it being longer in the manga. That could be because it's been a while since I've read it, and the scene felt very long to me while I read it. It was one of my favorite parts in the manga, and maybe it seemed to stretch on longer in my mind than it really was. I went back to it. It was one of the scenes that I would reread more than others, and I enjoy how it was handled here, but I guess in general things feel more fast-paced in the anime when, you know, they're animated and you're not reading and scrolling through chapters, but it's just happening a lot quicker. My camera picked an absolutely wonderful and hilarious time to stop working just now, so you won't be seeing my face for the rest of the video from this point onward. Hopefully this is something I can fix by next week, but it is what it is. In any case, I'm including this section to ramble, as I said I would in the beginning of the video, because these are thoughts I would really like to get across, technical issues be damned. To begin, Mob is clearly the focus of the story, but it's worth noting, or rather remembering, that a significant part of each brother's character and development in general stemmed from the same incident in their childhood. Mob is a kind and well-meaning person by nature, but a large bulk of the absolute terror he feels in regards to hurting other people stems from a traumatic event in which he hurt Ritsu. And on Ritsu's end, he has always cared about Mob, but that desire to help him became tinged with resentment and especially fear following that same incident. Season 1 in particular shows that this desire to calm Mob down became more than a simple objective in its own right, but also served as a way for Ritsu to protect himself and make sure Mob doesn't lose control again. Long story short, the incident exacerbated personality traits that each character already had, but added a sort of fucked up tinge to those traits. I think the way the story wraps up here is very well done because it literally pits them against their respective traumas, with Mob facing the prospect of hurting Ritsu again, and Ritsu facing the unconscious form of Mob after losing control. As shown in this episode, Ritsu's arc can be summed up as him reconciling his image of Mob with his image of Mob's repressed emotions, and recognizing that while the latter hurt him, it's still a part of the person who he cares about. Not only that, but it's a part that Ritsu wants to be able to actually handle and reason with respectfully, instead of simply shunning as something separate from his brother. And I think his power trip from season 1 comes full circle wonderfully in this episode too, when he figures that the reason he wanted power was to regain a sense of control over more than just his own safety, but also his ability to withstand the intimidating side of a person he truly wants to be there for. That's what being strong ultimately means to Ritsu. I want to say that as someone who has a sibling who I care about a lot and I'm very close to, sibling plots tend to hit a soft spot for me easily. On the other hand, that also makes me more critical of sibling plots which I feel lack depth or nuance. As a quick disclaimer, I have seen season 1 of Demon Slayer only. I'm very likely to watch more of it in the future and see many strong points of the show. But to be honest, I was largely unimpressed with the dynamic between Tanjiro and Nezuko, based on what I've seen so far. I think I'd seen a lot of the hype surrounding the two and developed high expectations for the role of their bond in the story. And while I admit it's wholesome and endearing to watch at best, I just didn't find that it captured as much genuine depth other than we care about each other as it could have. This, on the other hand, is a sibling plot that honestly did strike a chord with me and pretty hard. And it largely owes to the simple fact that both Mob and Ritsu feel like layered, multi-dimensional characters, both in their own right and in relation to each other. It was easy for me to invest in them and their journey, and personally, as someone who hates feeling like there's nothing I can do for my sibling more than anything, I can say that Ritsu's arc captured that perfectly to me. I think that's all I'm going to say about that for this video. As I mentioned before, I am planning on making an in-depth video essay on Mob Psycho as a series, and since that's going to discuss many characters, including these two in depth, I would like to save some content for that video as well. As always, thank you to everyone who watched this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.